We use this word animate and inanimate. The last 100 years or 200 years, whatever, intellect, people have been using their intellect, trying to define what is alive, what is not alive. Yes, I mean animate, inanimate. Now just look at the arrogance of that. See, we say water, we say inanimate, air, inanimate, soil, inanimate, space, inanimate, light, inanimate. But all these came together and became life, magic. So we call all these things inanimate, but somehow we are alive. And now our thought process has come out, meaning evolution happened from these supposedly inanimate things only, right? So everything started from these inanimate things. Now, if you use some common sense, you will see that something can't come out of nothing. The life that you are could not have come out of an absence of life. Scientists will say, yes, it can, because they will say we are not even alive. I know. I know scientists one day. I have seen many literature. They even refuse that they are alive. They say they are zombies. If you're that kind of so much invested into thinking process, that's what will happen. You will even deny that you're alive, you're conscious, because thought has become everything important. But if you look at it, common sense, life couldn't have come out from an absence of it, from an absolute absence of it. If you put it in terms of analogy or some example like that, you can only say that probably life was only happening at a low frequency. It was not manifest. It was happening in low frequency, and it increased, it tuned up itself, its frequency came up, just like, your electromagnetic spectrum, microwave is also electromagnetic wave, radio wave is also electromagnetic wave. All these waves are, their frequency is below the light frequency. Light is also electromagnetic wave. When the frequency is below the light frequency, you can't see it. But it is still electromagnetic frequency. It is still the same thing. Only the frequency is less. When frequency is increased, it becomes visible to you. You say, oh yeah, light, there is light. It doesn't mean that there is no light below that frequency. There is still light. Similarly, there is light even beyond that frequency, and even that we can't see. So now what has happened with, if you put it as an analogy, life started at a low frequency. It couldn't have started from an absence of it. If it was zero, from zero nothing can come. There it must be a very, very low frequency. It pitched itself up. It became, frequency increased, life intensity increased, and eventually it became intense enough. It became subtle enough to become this. It could produce thought. Now, if thought was sensible means if thought didn't think that I am the ultimate, if thought remained sensible, it will look at everything that preceded it also as life. Presently, what is happening, thought considers only itself and thinks similar to itself as life. I am alive. Other human beings are alive because they are like me. Some animals may be alive. Plants, I may accept they're alive, but I really don't relate to them like that. Yes. Soil, water, forget. They are dead. And those dead entities somehow became this. So thought is acting absurd. Absurd meaning it is the result of this life intensity pitching itself up. And now it is looking back and trying to decide what is alive, what is not alive according to its own criteria. Look at the arrogance of that. It is not thought process which is fundamental. Life process is fundamental, and thought process evolved on the evolution of life process. If thought process remained sensible, it will see this. This is something very obvious. If it sees this, then it will not act like a big hero. If it doesn't act like a big hero, if it accepts that, yes, I am a recent happening, I am just one of the aspects, life of process is more fundamental. If it accepts that, then it also has to accept probably there is something more. Maybe life will evolve further than me. I am just an intermediate thing. It will then remain in its place. It will not go absent. It will remain in its place, and it will allow life process to go ahead. It will not suck all your energy for itself and do its own drama and live its own psychological world.